Hello, welcome. This is the live. I want to talk today about why it is that I decided to stop doing design, because I know a lot of people, especially people that I've been networking with, a lot of people I'm friends on Facebook with in particular, are confused about why it is that I decided to stop and what I'm doing now as post design. First of all, I just want to address the fact that I will never fully be giving up design. I don't think that you can. Design is about a lot more than aesthetics. Design is about function and form. Design is about people and how they interact with something. Design is about the way, it's about beauty, it's about brawn, it's about all of it. So I will never fully quit design. I can't. It's like learning how to ride a bike. It reminds me of, and not maybe in such negative terms, but the story in the Bible when Eve eats of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And she can never go back because she knows too much now. That's very much so how I feel about design. I think that it is a way of living life. I think that it is a way of creating anything. I will never be able to create in a different way again. It will always be design based. So I wanted to say that first of all. I don't think anybody could ever quit being a designer. I think that it's always in you. My second point is I quit design to start helping designers, which sounds a little bit backwards or a little bit weird, but I was noticing there were a lot of designers who really struggled with communicating with their clients. Now, talking to clients was my favorite part of the job. And another reason why I decided to stop doing branding was because I spent most of my day behind a computer and not talking to people. I was doing a lot of work. And, I got to network, I got to have my, coaching sessions and stuff. But most of my day was spent behind a computer, and I am a grade A extrovert. It's really hard for me to sit and not talk to people all day. And that's what I was doing for most of my days. So it was really hard for me to keep up energy because I get energy from interacting with others. And I so my next point is this. I started helping and wanting to help designers because I saw a need for someone who understood the industry, somebody who understood design, understood what it took to be a designer, understood the pain points, the struggles, and they needed somebody who also could act as a confidant, somebody they were not afraid of taking their business away from them or poaching clients. They needed somebody to confide in and also bounce ideas off of. That is why I decided to start coaching. That, and I really want to teach clients, my new clients, my designers, about the importance of communication in design. So if you really don't like talking to people as a designer, and if you really don't like conflict or conflict resolution, design's going to be pretty hard for you. Most of graphic design is creating something. Most of graphic design is creating something and then seeing that somebody didn't really like it and wants to change it, and then you end up feeling like a pixel pusher. And there are lots of methods that you can use to not feel so much like a pencil pusher, and a lot of methods you can use to communicate better with your clients, explain your process better, and that's what I want to help designers do. I want to help designers feel like they're in control of their projects, but also that they are taking care of their clients well, and that their clients understand what they're doing and the value of what they're doing. I think a lot of clients, if they're not educated on what it is that branding is and design and marketing, all of that, they think, you make something pretty and then you send it out and people like it. There is so much more to design, and all of my designer friends are like, yes, 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 there's way more. Because there is. It's not necessarily about making something pretty all the time. And I think a lot of people underestimate the value of simplicity in design, and I think that we're getting back to that as a design community, that simplicity, but educating clients on why it is that you don't want to be over the top, or that you want it to be very simple or come across as having your design simple. So all of those things, and talking to clients, setting boundaries, figuring out when you're supposed to have time to eat and sleep as a designer. It's very easy to sit in front of your computer all day and just that's it, not eat, have trouble sleeping because you've been staring at a blue screen all day. There's a lot to this. There's a lot to this profession, and there are not a lot of people out there who are explicitly and just there to talk to designers, and that's it. That's all I want to exist to do, is to talk to designers and encourage them and give them tips on how they can improve their lives, to empower them so that they can communicate better with their clients, communicate better with their supervisors and their teams. Working in-house is definitely a different animal. I never worked in-house, but I can speak definitely to interpersonal communication and relationships. I have my degree in human development and communication media studies, so I have a very round perspective of interpersonal communication and all things like that, presentations, everything. So this is me sending off a beacon, and this is me deciding to change my direction because I love people. I love design too. Design, I think, is probably my second passion, but my very, very first passion is people, and helping them understand how they can feel more at peace every day in their lives, how they don't have to be a slave to their thoughts and feelings and emotions, and how they can be in better control of their lives and their trajectory and their projects. That's what this live is about. I did a very similar live over on my Instagram, and I was speaking a little bit more straightforward to my designers because they needed to hear it. They needed to hear that if you want to last in this industry, you need to learn how to talk to people. And there's really no other way about it. If you want to be a graphic designer that is different than being an artist, and both have expertise and both are about aesthetics and beauty, but one is also about strategy, and one requires communicating with a client or a supervisor to create something, and the other does not. So if you're a designer and you want to create things and have nobody have any input in them, go and be an artist. You're not a designer, you're an artist. And if you want to stay on this path, and if you want to survive in the graphic design industry, in the design industry generally, branding, animation, if you're designing video games, anything that you're designing, if you struggle with communicating with other people, you're going to have a really, really hard time in this industry and lasting and being happy about it. And I think that's with any industry, but in particular, I notice that designers have a very hard time talking about their designs. They have a hard time setting boundaries. They have a hard time talking about value, talking about their own value, the value of their work, the value of design generally speaking. And that's what I want to help people do. So that's me. Now, I hope that you guys, this cleared up a little bit. If somebody, really, 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 if you really, 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 really want me to do your brand strategy and want you to build out the base for your branding so that we can hand that off to a trusted graphic designer and then they can create something based on strategy, then I can definitely do that. You just need to let me know. I'm not advertising myself that way anymore. I'm not even necessarily networking that way anymore. So if you really, 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 really want me to do your brand strategy, that's something I can handle. But if you just you need a whole branding project done, it's not something that you want to project manage yourself, I have a fantastic reference for you. Just get in contact with me. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. This has been another it's not really a manifestation masterclass. Technically it is because it's the month of October still. But this is the final masterclass for October. Next month I will be talking about boundaries. All of my content will be aimed more at designers. I would still encourage you to follow me and check in so that you understand what it is that I'm doing if you're not a designer. And I'll teach about design principles, and it would probably help also if you're having trouble communicating with a designer, because you'll understand better what their struggles are and maybe how to have better conversations with them that hit on their perspective. But yeah, I'll be speaking mostly to designers. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and that your coffee is strong and your clients are nice. Bye.